Hey guys, happy Tuesday. It feels like Monday. I know it's Tuesday, but it feels like Monday. Let me just make sure I'm up on Facebook. Hang on. Did everybody have a good holiday weekend? I know it's a little anticlimactic because most of us are still in quarantine, but all right, cool. If you want, tell me where you're from out there on Facebook land. It's so today is our Ask the Doctor series. So what this is I get on, hi, Sharon Meyer, 937. I get on with my doctor's coat and I answer a question or two that either comes in while I'm on my live or that has come in over the course of the week. Is M-O Missouri, right? Missouri. I am terrible with two-digit city or two-digit state codes. Okay, good. Mary's on. Hi, Mary from Seattle. All right. So this week, actually, the question comes, okay, Missouri, cool. Comes in the form of a message that was posted on our Facebook troubleshooting group. So for those of you that don't know, we run a private group on Facebook called Singer Featherweight 221 and 222 Troubleshooting and Repair. And in it, people can pose questions about their machines, or sometimes they just post little beautiful pictures of the machines. Either way, the only rule with our private group is that you not refer a competitor for bits and pieces and parts that we already carry on our website. So if you haven't checked it out already, go ahead and look. Hi, Becky. Becky is a very happy girl right now. She purchased a beautiful 222 as her 40th anniversary present. Becky's husband loves her. She's going to have fun with her. I can't wait. Oh, and she named it Ruby Darlene. Isn't that sweet? I think that's fun. Anyway, okay, so the question is from a lady by the name of Deb Laird, and she said, "Good afternoon." This was on Friday. "I recently was given 2 featherweights. Lucky girl. At least to see what can be done with them. One was for spare parts and the other one came in a box with all the accessories. I cannot figure out why the needle does not go up and down while the faceplate is on." I think she meant throw plate, not faceplate, by the way. "I have the bobbin, I have lined up the bobbin according to the manual. If the bobbin is not lined up, it will not spin until it hits underneath and then stops. Any tips?" And then she attached a picture of basically this area, basically this area of the featherweight. So let's just go back to Featherweight Basics 101. When you have a machine, and one of the things that the best ways that you can care for it is by making sure she's dusted and lubricated properly. And one of the ways you do that is by removing this throat plate, this area right here on the bed of the machine, the chrome part. You do that regularly, especially if you're sewing with really linty fabric like flannel or just real fuzzy cotton fabric. It needs to be cleaned out, because what will happen is you'll get a buildup of thread underneath that throw plate, and then eventually you'll start skipping stitches. So you don't want to do that. So you take it off and you dust it out, and then when you put it back on, you have to make sure that little notch is seated underneath the throw plate in the north position, or in the up position. So what Deb is saying on our group is that when the throw plate is on and that finger is seated underneath the throw plate in the groove, that she can't roll the hand wheel. It's all seized up. So there's really only one explanation for that. At first, when she said faceplate, and so then I was confused what the faceplate had to do with the rotation of the machine. But then I figured out she meant throat plate, and that makes a little bit more sense. So if something is hitting metal to metal, it generally is a needle that's in the wrong way when you're seating your needle properly. The flat part of the needle has to be to the left side. Every modern machine will only allow the needle to go in properly. These vintage machines can go in any way, but only one way is right. So again, that's flat part to the left towards the extension, bed extension. And so if something's hitting, usually speaking, it is because the needle is not in the proper position. But in this case, there is no needle in it, and it was still seized up. So what that usually lends to is a thread behind the bobbin assembly. So you're asking yourself right now, how does a thread get stuck behind the bobbin assembly? And there's really only one way. The hand wheel should only ever be wheeled towards yourself. Sorry, my dog is going to make an appearance and he's eating someone's service tag. Well, that's really sweet of him. Okay, I know what machine that is. I'm sure that never has happened to anybody with their dogs eating things they shouldn't. In our household, it's a regular excuse that the dog ate my homework because he loves paper. I don't know why. Anyway, so hitting usually means needle out of place, not moving and exactly, not moving and seated properly on the hand wheel most likely means that there's a thread behind the assembly. So if you roll the hand wheel always forward towards yourself, you're fine. You run into trouble when you start trying to wheel the hand wheel in reverse. That wraps a thread behind the assembly and usually seizes up the machine. You would be shocked at the small amount of thread that can be hidden behind that bobbin assembly, and it still will either be not allowing it to sew or it's skipping stitches. So it's always a good idea to roll the machine onto its back, and then where the bottom cover is exposed, take the bottom cover off and get your little flashlight. I bought a flashlight off of a car, here it is, car mechanic place. It was at an O'Reilly's, and it's really cool because it's magnetic. Not that works on my aluminum featherweights, but I can hold it in my teeth is how I usually use it. But with this and then a pair of needle nose tweezers, you can fish out that thread that is disrupting the moving of the bobbin assembly underneath. Be really careful if you start taking screws out. There is a baby teeny tiny little screw called the jib hook screw that is seated on the front side of the bobbin assembly, and if you remove that and lose it, it's a problem. I have replacements on the website, but they're just tiny, teeny little things. So just be really careful with any type of screws you take off of your featherweight, as they are all not made anymore, most of them anyway. And they don't have the same threads as common screws these days. So that is my little Ask the Doctor for the week on how that can happen. I tried to do a live from Sandpoint, Idaho on Friday because my family and I went over and did some camping in northern Idaho, and the connection was really bad, and I wanted to answer a question that I'm not quite sure was put out properly. A couple weeks ago, I was real heavy into making face masks, and I had photographed one of my masks with some really cool pins in them. And then I got a couple questions from people asking me what kind of pins I was using, and it was they're called magic pins. And they are super sharp, and the handles, the little pin tops on them are heat resistant, so you can run the iron over them. I purchased this from Selkirk Quilts, where I was broadcasting from on Friday. It's a quilt shop in Ponderay, Idaho, and they do not have a website, but she does have more of them. So S-E-L, Kirk, K-I-R-K, is where I purchased these, and she had a bunch of them, both with green and blue tops, because they come in a fine and an ultra fine pin, so that's why you have two different colors. So anyway, I just wanted to mention these again because I'm not sure how well that translated out last week. Tomorrow, so this is the Tuesday edition. Oh, good. Someone ordered a package of 100. Yeah, I think these are only 50. They're awesome. I mean, I've been sewing for 24 years, and these are like my favorite new notion in my quilt shop, in my quilt studio is these pins, because they're so sharp and long and pointy. So anywho, what was I going to say? Oh, so this is the Tuesday edition of Ask the Doctor, usually done on Mondays, but yesterday was the holiday, and we were still driving back from Idaho at the time I should have been joining you all. So thank you for your patience in joining me today. Tomorrow is my weekly interview, and tomorrow I will be speaking with Mindy from Quilting Mayhem. It's a very large quilt shop here in the Pacific Northwest, and we're going to find out from Mindy what they've been doing to weather this quarantine shelter at home season like the rest of us. And then Friday we'll be right back here with my weekly Sip and Sew, and I'm hoping to get back to my Tula Pink quilt since I was doing a free motion quilting demonstration this past Friday. So anyway, thank you for joining me. If you would like me to answer a question during this weekly Ask the Doctor series, normally on Monday nights, you can email into our shop at info@featherweightdoctor.com. We also have a website with bits, pieces, and parts available in some machines also, featherweightdoctor.com. I hope everybody had a great weekend and a great Tuesday that feels like Monday. Hi, Mom. My mom is joining us from Forney, Texas. Thanks for joining me, Mom. All right, everybody. Have a good Tuesday night, and I look forward to talking with everybody tomorrow. Thanks.